Okay, that's what I was trying to say. I just remembered it.
You got it.
Is that the how's your arms doing, by the way, Christian?
Dying.
Okay.
It's okay.
What is up, guys? So we just got out of watching Candyman, the 2020 edition that takes place in 2019. No idea why they chose to do it that way. I can't think of a reason why. We got Christian from Double-Toasted holding the camera for us. I said, I'll get you a ticket if you just hold the camera for like roughly 8 to 10 minutes, you know? We were both really looking forward to this movie. I honestly barely remember the first Candyman movie, which is the only one I saw. I saw it a couple times when I was like a kid, and later on in life when talking with people I realized, oh, it's actually like kind of a deep movie. And you're much more familiar with like the franchise as a whole. I went into this and I don't think you actually need to have seen the prior Candyman movie at all to understand this. They do a really illustrative job. Illustrative, especially when you've seen this movie. That's gonna be even funnier when you look back at this review. Going through the events of the first one without just doing a big exposition dump, the unfolding of the whole mysterious narrative happens throughout the film. I was pleasantly surprised by it. You know, it's got a lot of social commentary as you'd expect. And, you know, a lot of people credit the first Candyman movie for having like a good approach of being like a horror movie mixed with some social commentary. I feel like this movie like doubled downs on the social commentary, but it never overtakes away from like the horror and the character-driven narrative approach. I actually was really impressed with this. I thought Dacosta did a wonderful job. Like, it's very expressionate. But John, before I just like go for the next few minutes, why don't you step in there? What'd you think? I actually quite enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, no, I did too. I really did. And as you know, a fan of the first movie, and every time I've revisited it, it is one of those both horror and 90s movies that I'm like, wow, I'm surprised at how much this is held up and appreciated in value. And so seeing this, you know, I was really excited, but I also had some nerves about it just because, you know, if you're tackling very socially aware content now, there's a different way in which that articulates. And for the most part, I feel like they did a really nice job here because this gives you all the Candyman stuff that you want while also weaving, I think, really nicely into where the first movie and the story starts, which is, you know, it's about this tapestry of urban legend that has been contributed to and morphed over time. And so as a sequel, but also, you know, kind of soft reboot, this works in both directions. So if you've seen the original one and you know certain names or certain places, but
references, Easter eggs,
right, breakdown, coming
that's
soon.
The real candy right there.
Those are the treats this Halloween. Stuff like that, it's not distracting and it figures in ways that are significant, but like you said, anything you need to be caught up on from the first movie, the original movie, the movie will get that information to you in a way that feels appropriate and in a way that's usually very artistic because this movie centers around an artist and it takes a lot of cues from that. I mean, you know, in the first movie you're doing sort of a research expedition, and in this one you're more delving just into the hues and the emotions and the tones of the Candyman mythology and the story.
Yeah, that's why I thought like upping the stylistic approach to here is more than just cool 2020 soft reboot horror movie. Look how awesome we look here. This movie manages to double down on the nuance of it, but having its stylistic approach is truly a reflection. Oh my God, I'm just so good with the word choices here, man. Oh man. But what was I saying? I got a joke.
Reflecting.
I got so caught up in the whole reflecting bit. With the cinematography of this film, the stylistic approaches of here, the artistry on display with the direction was reflective of the character's journey here, because this is very character driven. I thought Yahya Abdul-Mateen, I hope I'm saying his name right. I love this actor. And he's appearing in like a gazillion more movies coming up. And he is phenomenal in this movie. Like, he's so subtle, similar to Virginia Madsen. That's what I was gonna, you know, when you watch this film, you just can't stop thinking about Virginia Madsen.
That's all I had on my mind.
This character, what he goes through here is like this real obsessive, insane psychological descent. It's done in such a way where like the first 20 to 30 minutes or so, I'm like, I guess this is more like a drama and not really a horror film. And then the horror just slowly starts like encompassing the movie. And I like, that's my favorite kind of, it's like dreadful horror.
And that's the thing, is it's easy to misconceive Candyman as just a slasher movie, and then you look at the trailer and you're like, it's gotta be a bunch of kills, right? It gotta be a bunch of kills. And so it's like you might be taken aback by, oh, there's just a lot more story here than I was initially anticipating, if you're not as
because it's about this guy's journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not just, what's going on with Candyman? Oh my God, death. Like, it's a real character. character piece with this guy.
What is Candyman? What does he mean to all these people? What is that legacy? Not
Yeah.
just who's he gonna kill and how.
Yeah, because some of my favorite kind of horror elements are deal with obsession and paranoia. So I'm pretty biased here. I'm like, yeah, these are
playing to me.
These are like the things I like right here. Also is reflective in a lot of body horror ways. Again, I don't want to give this away of what really goes on here, but there are some pretty disturbing elements that occur with the violence. Stuff that there were some people I heard talk about this movie that I thought dumbed it down to the point where I'm like, I guess it's not that violent. There were some moments where I was really very unsettled. I was cringing quite a bit. Also, Teyonah Parris, more than just, the wife to the main character. She is also great. She has a lot more nuance written into her character as well that I wasn't really anticipating would go on, and I'll just say this, she also has an arc of her own too that I thought made that movie just as powerful. The only issues I really have with this film, some of the dialogue can feel very I don't want to say the word preachy. That's not the right choice of words. Sometimes with these Jordan Peele films, I think they can be more subtle with the handling while getting its social commentary messages along. Whereas there were times here where I'm like, I think you're really laying it out clearly for me. And I think though, plotting-wise with the third act, there were some things that occur that I thought perhaps a little bit too condensed or a little bit rushed. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's kind of hard to do a just watch on this one because there's a lot to absorb. There's so much here.
Sitting with it.
It's psychological. It gave me pretty much what I wanted and a little bit more than what I expected.
Yeah.
And I don't think the trailers properly allude to just how deep this movie actually is.
How much of a journey you're gonna go.
Yeah, because it deals a lot with gentrification, especially.
Generational trauma for sure. And I mean, if I had any gripes, it is I think the original film, and not to keep being that guy, because I don't actually think that this, pales in comparison. I think it's a really worthy follow-up, but that original film I think is 10 minutes longer, and I could have used maybe 10 more minutes of this, because there is
the third act, yeah.
Yeah, there is an economics of storytelling at times that works really well, and sometimes you can feel the sort of modern economics of storytelling. That's probably the only gripe I had, but so much of this gave me, just so much rich character stuff, style, tone, and
music too was
the music,
awesome. At times it felt like a mood piece.
Absolutely. Yeah. It feels like they're building off the Philip Glass score from the first one with a lot of these very ambient and organ-driven sounds. It has a very wrought feeling underneath that makes you uneasy the entire time.
For me, I'd probably give this a solid 9 out of 10 if I had a rating system ever. If I had a consistent rating system once in my life. This feels like the thing you go with out of 10 on this one. And I feel like a solid 9 out of 10 for me is right up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Christian, come over here for a second. Let me. Yeah.
I really liked it. I would echo everything that you've said. I discovered Candyman later. I rewatched it when I was a kid. I thought it was Ginger Dead Man and Pumpkinhead and all those bad kind of horror films. But no, it's a horror film that has a lot to say, and this is such a worthy successor to that. And I'm really thankful that you guys asked me to come out. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoy the car ride with us.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a blast, I'm sure.
Yeah. This guy's so boring. So boring. Just doesn't.
Get back behind the camera, Christian.
I was so tired when he showed up. And then his energy woke me up, and I'm like, now I think I'm ready to watch Candyman.
No, now I have no energy. You're an energy vampire. That's what happened.
I
hung out with you for 10 minutes.
So
and I'm
sorry,
dead inside,
Christian. So much for that double date I was hoping to ask you on later, with John joining us on that double date later.
I'm so confused, but okay. The numbers don't add out there.
This is called rapport in chemistry, and I think we've captured it on camera here today.
I don't think so. I'm sorry.
That's not how you yes and. We talked about this in the car ride.
I don't think we talked
about
it.
One job, which is to yes and.
Yes. Okay. Yes, and
You're never gonna make it in this business.
I know. I agree.
Guys, go follow Christian online.
Don't.
He appears on Double Toast.
Don't. I'm sorry. I don't need followed by anybody.
All right, fine. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. I think we got a thumbnail pose.
You did it.
Subscribe, click that notification bell, like buttons. Whatever the usual crap people say on YouTube.